Mike?
Hey, Anthony, did you get any initial indications of just playing with Drummond and the quickness you guys can have switching out onto the perimeter on defense, and then how you can play some two-man action on the offensive side of the court?
Yeah, our defense was really good to start the game. We were really talking, flying around. Guys was covering for each other, so that's a good thing of having another defensive player out there in Drum. And offensively, we just figured it out. It's something that comes with time. I said we had one practice together, and now 16 minutes to play with each other. So that's going to come with time. Just like when Brown comes back, we're going to have to reset again and try to get him acclimated with him as well. But we're continuously talking and trying to figure things out. He's asking questions. I'm trying to direct him where I want him to be, where I have the ball in the post. It's going to take time, but we'll figure it out for sure.
And then just to follow up on how you felt physically, Anthony, is there anything about the mental part of it, or just getting through a game, not having to kind of look down and think about the leg? Is that something that you're able to kind of get past, and how much can that help by continuing to play games?
Yeah, I didn't think about it one time tonight. Honestly, I just went out there and played. I think it kind of limit what you do if you out there thinking about your injury. So I just went out there and played and just not think about it. Go out there and just have fun and be excited to be back on the floor. That was my main thing. I was just excited to be back on the floor, with the guys. So I never thought about it. I never didn't limit it to any moves. I wasn't hesitant with anything. So that was a good sign for me.
Bill?
AD, this is a stretch, obviously, where the games could potentially really matter. Dallas is a team that is trying to close the gap with you. What is it going to be like for you, or how hard might it be for you to kind of accept the process and the patience that's required with the ramp up when your group is out there trying to secure seeding and give you guys the best chance going forward?
Absolutely, that's very tough, especially like you say tonight and Saturday. We dropped this one tonight, knowing that Dallas was trying to catch Portland and us. And they came a game closer. And then Saturday, going to talk about how the minutes looked then, but I know probably won't be a full game, which, still tough, when we're trying to, battle as well for seeding. But we know, at the end of the day, when everyone's healthy, we're a tough team to beat. And no matter where we fall in the playoffs, we're going to come out and, I think we're going to be a challenge for anybody. And that's how we look at it, big picture, obviously. But, we still want to make sure that we control our own destiny and be able to make the playoffs 1 through 6 and not fall through that 7 to 10 range.
We've got time for 2 more. Dan?
You kind of said this to Mike, but were there any nerves at all tonight? I mean, when you haven't done something for months, whether it was excitement to be back out there, nervousness about how things would feel. Like there were a couple of times where you hit the court, maybe like a quarterback getting sacked for the first time. I'm just curious if any of that stuff was reaffirming or confidence building.
I wasn't nervous at all. I think my teammates are, very excited for me to be back on the floor. They just kind of give you that juice and that little oomph that you need to be back there out there on the floor. So I was pretty fine. Like I said, I had good energy to start the game. Felt good. So I wasn't nervous at all. I mean, I was upset that I was missing shots that I normally make. So that was probably the most frustrating part. But having the teammates, even when I missed shots, they were still there, telling me good shots, keep shooting, keep going. You only got a certain amount of time, so shoot the ball. So that was a reassuring part with those guys, is knowing that they want me to shoot the ball, they score the ball. So that's good when you have teammates like that.
Last question, Mark Medina.
Hey, Dave. As much as you're spending the last 9 weeks healing from your injury, how much do you feel you're able to hit the mental reset button from dealing with the compressed season and the short turnaround from the bubble?
I think I was able to right there. You kind of get a break. I was able to get a break and kind of just reset and I won't say get away from the game, but knowing that I wasn't going to be playing for a while, just kind of mentally reset and use that time to kind of go through this summertime that I didn't have because of the shorter break. So I was able to use that time to really get away in a sense, and also mentally get ready for this comeback game right here. So it was good for me. Now it's time to get back to work with the guys and fight for another championship.
We're good there, AD. Thank you.
Hey, Andre, we just want to start with that first quarter action and you and AD coming out together, what it felt like defensively, some of the switching around of the perimeter, and just what you think that could be for you two going forward.
Man, it was definitely incredible to have AD out there, just to see him, try to get himself to a rhythm and being on the same court as him as a teammate was a surreal moment for me. It felt like we were kids again playing in USA basketball. So it's going to be crazy when he gets back to full form and he's able to play those 30, 35 minutes on the court. Our defense is going to be very scary.
And how did you manage kind of the dual goal of the game and getting AD back integrated? You knew his minutes were going to be limited, and then also trying to find a way to win the game. What did you think was the key there, Andre, as the game went forward in the second half?
You know what? I think today was a trial game for us. Just seeing how he fit out there with myself as well, being on the same court, and just trying to build that chemistry right away. Because we don't have a lot of time to really do this. So we got to do it with the time that we have now. We look great. We're going to try it again on Saturday, right? Try it again on Saturday, try it again on Saturday and just have fun with it. We're going to be a great team. Our team's starting to come back healthy and, sky's the limit for us.
Delorme?
Hey, Andre, what's the mental challenge of playing a half with AD and then having to adjust at halftime and go back to a totally different look without him and with Markieff there?
It wasn't much of a challenge to, switch that up. I've been playing with Keith. I played with him in Detroit. I've had games here with him in LA as well, too. So the chemistry with he and I hasn't changed at all. So it's just, having AD out there in that first half to, get him some run and get his legs going to get him a feel on the court. Nothing is going to change. We're still going to play with the same aggression. Guys are going to come out when they're ready when their numbers are called and play the same way.
Dan?
Andre, did you what were kind of your first impressions actually like on the court with Anthony? Was there more space for you on the block? Did you notice, you've been getting double teamed and stuff like that the first few weeks. Like, what were some of the basketball differences that you noticed kind of in that little taste you had with him in the first half?
Yeah, being on the same court, AD has freed the game up for me a lot, to do some of the things that I'm very good at, which is rebounding. Because the focus is all on him when he has the ball. He has all five eyes at him. And not only are they doing that, but they're leaving the best rebound in the NBA wide open. So any shot he misses, and I'm right there to clean it up. The first half, I got the spray out three for Contavious. And, once he gets a rhythm and we start to really find that feel for each other on the court, the dynamic is going to be crazy.
Dave?
Andre, obviously AD didn't really play up to his standard that he's used to, but he hasn't played in so long. But he alluded to this practice you guys had. How did he look then? Like, did you get to see kind of the full-fledged AD more so in that practice?
Yeah, he was very active in practice. Defensively, he was flying around. Offensively, he was dunking the ball, shooting those mid-range shots that he makes all the time, hitting threes. So it was very encouraging to see him, in live action, play the way he played, because at the end of the day, it's only going to get better from here. This is game one for him. There was a lot of bright spots for him, and we have another game on Saturday. Hopefully he plays in that game too to, continue down the path that we're going down now.
How good?
Hey, Andre. KCP and Dennis had 26 combined points in that third quarter. What kind of tone that set for the group when you guys were trying to win the game without AD? And in your opinion, do you feel like that's something they've been sharpening in this period without AD and LeBron on the court?
KCP and Dennis have done a great job of just being themselves, being themselves and not doing anything outside of their game. They're playing the way they're supposed to play. They're playing the right way, and they're having fun doing it, and they're making shots they're supposed to make. So this is no surprise that their success on the court is, showing right now.
All right, I think we're good.
Fellas, thank you.
Hey, Kenny, first of all, just want to get your thoughts on AD's return and what you noticed most about it on both sides of the court.
Just seeing him trying to get into his rhythm. He missed, I think, his first maybe 4 or 5 shots, I think. It was just him trying to get back in the game flow rhythm. He looked pretty healthy, 100%, which is good for us. But just his minute was short tonight, and I feel like he's not back to himself yet. But once he get into that rhythm of getting up and down, I feel like it's gonna be good for us.
Kenny, it's the third straight game for you where you've hit at least 5 threes. So we've talked about the rhythm that you've been in. How do you think that AD coming back can aid that in a way? And do you think that you'll continue to get even better looks as LeBron eventually comes back as well?
Yes. The floor is going to open up big time when them guys come back. We already seen when we was posting AD tonight, they were doubling. So that swing is going to be there. Just staying aggressive when them guys do come back. Continue to just put the pressure on the opponents.
Kyle?
Hey, KCP, I was just wondering, when AD was kind of hunting for his first basket, missed his first 5 shots, what was the mood of the team? Were you guys having to keep AD a little engaged, or were you talking to him at all? Were you just letting him try to play his game?
We always trying to keep each other engaged. Whether we missing shots or someone's down, or emotional, we always try to lift each other up, no matter what's going on the court. That's all we was doing tonight, man. Keep shooting. We knew he was gonna miss some shots. His first game back in almost a month, we knew what was gonna happen, and we was ready for it. And we continued to we played. We just didn't get the win.
Dan?
Thank you, Tavius. To take you away from the court for a second, I wonder, did you get word about what happened with Terrence during the game? I know LeBron posted about it at halftime, and he had just signed with Clutch yesterday. Did that? What's that?
I didn't. We got the news as we was actually running out of the locker room. Not everybody, but I just heard what was going on as I was coming out of the locker room. Oh man, words can't even explain. Just the feeling that his family is feeling, and we all just praying for him, their family, and just gotta continue to keep his family strong. To do much as it's hard to explain. How or the feeling of that. It happened so suddenly. Didn't really know the story, but kind of heard his mom and brother was following him at the time. So I just couldn't imagine just seeing that happen.
How do you go play a basketball game after you hear that? How tough is that?
It's tough, but this is our job. We got to try to, I want to say forget about it. Just brush it to the side for these 48 minutes, and then after that we can think about it, talk about it as much as possible. I just feel like we just have to do that, try to have a blockage, but not really block it out.
Dave?
Yeah, okay. It's a really tough transition to go away from Terrence. I want to ask you about the game. Was there anything that Anthony did tonight where you're like, oh yeah, he's back? I know his total line wasn't great, but was there any moment you're like, that's the Anthony Davis we missed?
the post up he had, the one, the spin move, and I think it was a dunk or a layup. I think it was the and one he had got. You know, we definitely miss his presence down there. You know, his scoring, you know, his shot blocking ability to defend the guards on the perimeter. When we do switch, you know, he's been missed very much. And I'm just glad he's back healthy, you know, 100%, and we can just continue to push, you know, and to get to where we need to be.
Got time for two more. BT.
What's up, Kenny? Hey, you and Dennis combined for 54 points tonight. How beneficial will it be for both you guys to stay aggressive going forward for this team?
It's gonna be the most. I mean, it's gonna be important. You know, we know when Bron get back. You know, we already got AD back. Them guys, you know, the ball's gonna be in their hands as much as possible. You know, just trying to get them back acclimated within the game flow. But I mean, for me and Dennis, we just gotta just stay aggressive. You know, doing what we're doing now, even when them guys come back. So it'll be opportunity there for that to happen. So we gotta just take full advantage of it.
Last question, Melissa Rowland.
Hey, KCP. Knowing how serious AD's injury could have been, can you describe how big of a sense of relief it was to see him on the court tonight?
The energy was in the locker room was good. You know, just even seeing him walk into the game, you know, go out and warm up, get dressed with us. You know, the energy was a little different. You know, just knowing he's back 100%, and like we kind of needed that a little bit. You know, that energy. So I mean, just having him back, you know, is a big part. You know, for this organization and what we're trying to do. And then we got one more guy that we need to get healthy. I mean, I feel like once they're back, you know, I feel like our team is complete, but we just got to continue to just be aggressive and, you know, we fighting for something.
Hey, Dennis, it looked like on the broadcast there was a moment, I think in the second quarter, where you just kind of said, let's go, and you kind of subsequently led a big run to get back into the game. Is that, do you remember that moment? Was there something that you were sensing the way the team was playing that you wanted to redirect?
The second quarter, you said?
It was the first half. Yeah, there was a moment where right before you kind of went on that individual run in the second quarter, it seemed like.
Yeah, I mean, we should have won that game, you know, I believe. But I mean, end of the day, I just tried to, you know, lead us, try to talk to my teammates, you know, keep them positive energy, and I mean, that's my role right now, and you know, I just try to keep them engaged, and I mean, you know, we closed it out well, and we came out, you know, in the third quarter, you know, played great defense and was running the floor. So, I mean, overall, we did a great job.
Yeah, Frank said he thought this might have been your best individual game of the season, but as you said, it sounds like that's not what your concern is amidst looking for a win. But was there something that helped you, Dennis, get into that kind of rhythm on offense, whether it was through scoring or through passing?
If it's my best season of the season, or best game of the season, then I'm going out with a W. So, I mean, it wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and then just what were your impressions of AD, of Davis in his return?
Well, having him back is just, you know, it's just great. On the defensive end, you know, had a couple of steals, changing shots, and on the offensive end, you know, he's a little rusty and shot a couple, but I'm just glad he's out there again, and he's going to find his rhythm probably on Saturday. But, you know, I love to see him out there being healthy. He worked hard, you know, to get back. And, I mean, I can't wait, you know, just play with him, find that chemistry again. And, yeah, it's great to have him out there.
Dave?
Dennis, how much of the chemistry or the way that Drummond and AD will fit together kind of comes down to you in terms of organizing them and making sure that they have the proper space to operate with one another, both on the block?
Yeah, I mean, we got to figure that out. I think we have some good plays for it. For AD setting the screen, and Dre being in the dunker when I hit AD in the pocket pass, that he can finish or lob it to Dre. So, finding that chemistry, I think right now, AD got to be a little bit aggressive because he got a minute restriction. You try to find him early, but I think when we get in with him again and LeBron comes back, then I think it's gonna be just fine. So just try to get AD back slowly and slowly. Still try to get some dubs, and until Brian comes back, and then I think we'll be fine.
Bill?
Dennis, what's the challenge of having AD back but not fully back yet? Obviously, not for both halves, and then knowing you're going to have to do this again probably with LeBron in a few games, while you're also trying, like you were just talking about, trying to win games and secure your spot in the standings.
I mean, first off, it don't matter where we end up at, I believe. So end of the day, we want to make the playoffs. We want to win games. We want to focus on us, what we do, and try to get better every game, until everybody gets back. And to this point, because they was hurt, try to come back. I think, we can't rush nobody. And I think everybody else coming from the bench, just got to give everything they have, to win a game. So, we just got to get out there, 48 minutes, try to give everything we have, and try to come up with some wins, of course. But I think for me personally, if everybody is there, in a 7-game series, I put my money on us. So, but like I said, just try to get better game by game and try to get out with some W's.
Kyle?
Hey, Dennis. AD was saying that, when he was missing his first couple of shots, it was kind of frustrating because he felt there were looks he normally makes. And then, when he hit his first shot, it felt very good seeing it go through the rim. I was wondering if you felt like the team was kind of sharing those feelings a little bit, whether you were really just waiting as a team to see AD's first shot that went in.
Yeah, he's been working so hard, for 2 months close to. He's working, trying to get back. We see him every day in the gym. He's been in the, hotel, just working out and trying to get back, So, me personally, in the first half, was just, try to find him and try to, give him a good rhythm. It wasn't even, it was just for me, try to, give him the rhythm. And but I think on Saturday, we know exactly what we need to do, to win this game. We need to compete, everybody needs to do their job and try to come up with a W.
Last question, Rachel Nichols.
Hey, Dennis. In what ways does your competitiveness come out when you're playing against a guy like Luka Doncic on the other side?
He's of course a great player. But I like, I like to compete, against the best guys. He's a hell of a player, of course. But whoever it is who I'm playing, because we in the NBA, we play almost every night against the best point guards, in the world. So me as an underdog, I like to compete, and like the challenge. And I'm gonna do everything I can to compete and try to get a W for my team.
Do you track a little bit what the other point guard is doing on the other side?
What do you mean by that?
Like, are you keeping track throughout the game of, oh, he scored on me twice, or, oh, he's got this much even when I'm out of the game and I got to do something more?
No, I just, every possession counts, for me. So whenever I'm on him, I just try to make it as hard as possible. And sometimes I get frustrated, you know, when I'm out and he scores or he gets to the line, and I can't lie about that. So, I mean, it's just, you know, me competing, being competitive. So I want to be out there, you know, when he's out there, because I just want to compete, you know. And even if he scored 40, then I know exactly he got these 40 points, you know. It wasn't easy for him. And I just, you know, try to compete. That's all.